Welcome back to our channel. My name is Jasmine.
And I'm Dave.
And this is Engineered by God, where we navigate life from a Christian perspective. And we are here because this guy got a problem with Instagram.
Seriously though, I think we want to talk about the relationship that I guess more me, but I mean maybe both of us have with Instagram and areas that I feel like it's negatively impacted my life, and the steps that I've taken to kind of combat those things, and maybe it might be helpful for you because I feel like a lot of us are in similar situations. Right, so I think the first area that Instagram has really been a negative influence in my life is with lust. It is, especially if you're a guy, you know, the algorithm knows how to target the things that you like. Typically, if you go onto an explore page, especially if they know you're a guy, it's going to try to throw tech, it's going to try to throw sports, and it's going to try to throw girls at you, right? And there's no shortage of it. And the thing is, I've spoken about my struggles with porn in the previous video. And so like those desires and that thing, it doesn't go away per se. You just learn how to not be overcome by it. But Instagram is like, we don't care about what you're trying to overcome. We don't care if you clicked, hey, I want to see less of this. We know this is what you want to see. And so it's like, there's never an end of just, very, lightly dressed women, right? And like, even with the reels now, it's like, I don't really watch reels, but Instagram is trying to like make me watch reels. And the ones that they try to like promote or whatnot, it's always a woman, in a very provocative way, right?
Yeah.
And so, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that, because I was on your Instagram one time, and it just was crazy just how much stuff they were throwing out there. I'm like, oh, this is definitely different from my explore page.
Right. And it's like, I've done the whole, hey, I don't want to see this no more. It's like, stop lying. I'm like, I'm not lying. No, yes, you are. So yeah, that is one area that I feel like for me, Instagram is not a positive influence in terms of my relationship with Christ, right? The second thing that I think it really kind of gets me is that I feel oftentimes that I'm just not satisfied with my life. Sometimes, like, it almost seems like whenever you're on Instagram, you're always seeing people's highlights. You're always seeing the coolest things that are going on, whether in stories and posts and reels. It always looks like so many people are having so much more fun than you're having. And we just had this conversation, like, right before we recorded. We were downstairs, not doing anything, just kind of like sitting around, Josiah's running around doing his thing. And I'm like, yo, this is normal, right? This is normal. Like, this is what everyone's doing. This is a good normal life. But why do I always feel like I should be doing something more? Like, there should be something else that's going on. And it's like this feeling that no matter how good you have it, you don't have it good enough. And I think that's an area that that I realize is something that I need to be focused on, right? And another thing, you got something?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say for me, like, when it comes to comparison, for me, I think it's more so like just kind of seeing other people kind of, I guess, flaunt, their relationships and stuff and dates, and they get dressed up and go out and do all these things and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I'm fine with that, but then I see other people doing it. I'm like, should I be doing that more? Should we be doing that more? Should we be this? Should we be that? You know what I mean? And so kind of like comparing myself in that instance, but it's like, we're fine.
Right.
We're perfectly fine.
Right. And what connects to that too, I guess, is like point 2B or 2A, whatever, is like this need for validation. Like, two things recently just happened. We had our 5th year anniversary, right? And then we also had Josiah turn 2. And I don't think we posted about either one of those things.
Yeah, we didn't post about
But
anything.
I did feel like, if we don't post, does he actually turn 2? Like,
Right,
does it
did
count?
it actually happen?
Right, like, this is a milestone year. I feel like I should say something, right?
Yeah, like when it was like the night of his birthday, and I had this video that I wanted to post on our story, Engineered by God story, And I'm trying because it had music in the background, just how I was dancing, but I did, you gotta insert the music clip in there and all this stuff, and it just wasn't working out for me. And meanwhile, Dave and Josiah are over somewhere else, and I can see them, and they're playing and having a good time. I'm like, what am I doing spending my time trying to put this story together
Right.
when they over there having a good time? Like, forget this. I'm gonna go have fun with my husband and my son.
Right.
But just the only reason, like, I liked the video. It was cute to me. The only reason I wanted to post it is so people can know, yeah, we are actually celebrating our son's birthday. Just because we don't put it online doesn't
Right.
mean we're
Right.
not, you
Right.
know. You gonna dance with me? Hey. So yeah.
And then I think, and there's other things, but I think for this video, the last thing that I want to talk about is that I feel like through social media, like Instagram, specifically in this video, like my attention span and my ability just to focus on things for a longer periods of time has lessened a lot. And like I see that in other areas of my life. If I'm not getting it quick, if I'm not getting the information right away, then I'm not even gonna watch it. Like I could bet, like, for example, our YouTube channel and others probably suffer from this because people want the information as quickly as possible. And sometimes the things that are really valuable, the things that really can add a lot of value to your life, you're not getting them in 3 seconds. It's not a meme. It's a series. It takes time. It's a long book. It's a long whatever. Yeah. But it takes time to really digest those things and really, spend time with those, right? Mm-hmm. As opposed to just seeing something really quickly and moving on to the next thing. Yeah. And so what I've done recently, I would say, is the first thing is just taking a step back. Like really just deleting the app and just really taking some time away. Mm-hmm. And when I did that, it became clear how much space social media, but specifically Instagram for this video, takes in your life, right? My hand has muscle memory. Like when the app is gone, like my fingers still go to the same spot on my phone. It's like my mind is timed and programmed to open it to the point where I can be on the app and I won't even remember opening the app. I'm just here again. Like, when did I do this, right? And so I think the first step is to really take some time away because no app is more important than your relationship with God. Or even like just bettering your relationship with God is the most important thing over everything, right? And so if it is a real hindrance to you, then move it out the way. Just completely take it out. Mm-hmm.
But not even that is, your relationship with God is the most important. But not even just that, like, just your commitment to your relationship and all those other things as well.
Right. Yeah. Like if you find yourself like so much on Instagram, you can't spend any time with your kids, right? Mm-hmm. Then clearly it's an issue. So that's something that I did that was, one, very helpful. The second thing that was just as, if not more important, was what exactly am I feeding myself, right? And what I mean by that is like those things, like the struggles with lust. Even though you're not on Instagram, you'll still find it in other areas if you're not being intentional, if you're not being wise about the way that you just you live your life, whether through TV or the internet or whatever, right? And more importantly, like the time that you spend with God in the Word, right? How much time are you actually, are you as devoted to your prayer life and your time in the Word as you are to spending time on Instagram? And obviously it's not, I mean, we wish we could, but it's not going to, we're never, I don't think we're ever going to get to the point where we're spending as much time praying and reading as we do on social media, right? Because praying and reading, takes intentional time. And you also have other things during your day that you typically do. Like you go to work, you got to go to the grocery store, all that stuff. And typically during those other things, you can still scroll on social media. So that time always ticks up and up and up and up. But nonetheless, how much are you feeding yourself the Word of God, right? That's one. And outside of the Word of God, like the relationships that you have, like how much of those are you really pouring into? Like the things outside of Instagram, you kind of have to take an inventory as to like how those things are positively drawing you nearer to whatever you're trying to draw near to, or how they're pulling you away. Because Instagram itself is not a problem. It kind of just shows who you are in a way. Like the algorithm is like, I want to know who you are so that I can just give you that one thing so you'll never get off the app. Yeah. And it's going to do that at some point. So I think like realizing like what are you feeding yourself, and I think the third thing that I've done, well, the third thing I'm trying to do currently is figuring out what exactly do you want from the app, right? Because the app knows what it wants from you. It wants you to stay here. It doesn't want you to go. Like, but what is it that you're looking for? Like, are you just trying to see people's, great moments? Are you trying to connect with friends? Or do you really have no true intention as to how you're using this app? And I think, unfortunately, when we're not intentional about things like this, we kind of veer down the wrong road, right? And many negative things come because of it. And again, Instagram in and of itself, because like when the algorithm works for you and you find something that you were looking for, but you couldn't think of the name or the product, it's great, right? But when you find yourself in a situation where because, you've been trying to overcome your struggles with porn, but now you're just scrolling on Instagram, you're seeing all these women that you have no business looking at, and now your mind is like, yo, just take another step, right? Because you weren't really being intentional about how you're using the app. So like, what is it that you actually want? And so, yeah, those are the things that I've done recently. Like I have my personal one, but I don't really use my personal one anymore. Cause I feel like that joint is just too tainted. It's just like no matter what. So I kind of just stay on Instagram by God. I kind of basically stay away from the explore page. Cause engineer by God. What I said, Instagram by God. Yes. So yeah, I just kind of stay off the explore page. And I kind of try to stay off. Honestly, I try to stay off of people's stories too, because I feel like it's like, for some reason that makes me feel like, man, look at you not doing nothing. You just home again. You home again. Look at this person. They out to brunch. They doing this. They traveling. It's like, I don't need to, if it's not going to produce a positive thing in me, then I don't need to be taking part. And for someone else, that could have no impact. It could bother them not at all, like at all. But for me, that's not who I am. And I know that I need to stay away from that. And I've spent time in the Word. Like Jazz and I have said in our last couple videos, we're going through a makeover spiritually in our lives, and we're trying to be more intentional with reading and praying, small groups and church, and everything that we know that we should be doing to have a productive Christian life. And so that has been extremely beneficial,
Yeah.
And having open conversations like this, because I'm not the only one that's dealing with this. I guarantee you, like, someone's watching this video probably has a list either identical to me or maybe even longer than me. And just talking to other people about this, being in Christian community.
Yeah. All good points.
Yeah.
All great things you said.
This is all me this time. Before we recorded, Jazz was like, Instagram, it's not really that big a deal for me, I'm gonna let you have this one, Dave. For her, she was like, TV is my thing. So you probably do a follow-up video maybe about Jazz's struggle with television. And I can just sit back and just be like, all good points.
But yeah, that's it from us or from Dave. If you struggle with Instagram, maybe if you struggle with TV, I don't know. Tell us what you are struggling with right now and what you're trying to do to be better,
Yeah.
But that's it for us. See ya.